Well, welcome, and I am your host, and my name is Britton. Today, I just wanted to get on here before we start our conversation and let you know that I am not a psychologist or a psychiatrist. I speak to people that are in those professions, and this channel is for information only. Hopefully, it's good information that you can apply to your life. So, as I speak to those guests, and if you feel like you want to support any of those, some of them are authors, blogs, mental health advocates. They have foundations, not-for-profits. If you want to support those people, I'll put the links in the description below. Also, if you'd like to support the Suicide Monk podcast and help keep this moving forward, I'll put that GoFundMe in the link below. And then also, I just want to get on here and tell you a little bit about Ashes to Life coaching. It is a passion of mine to help people go from a darkness that they live in to finding who they are, and coming from that and experiencing that lifestyle, and now being on the other side of that, I want to help those that are struggling, that want to live and find that life and find that passion and that purpose. So if you're interested in that type of coaching, I have some spots available. I will leave the link down below and how you can contact me. And that's about it. Thanks a lot. We'll see you on the good side. So before our conversation, we're going to have a word from Scarlet Raven. She's going to tell you about some products that she has from White Fox Medicinals, and they are products that I use, and they help me quite a bit. So she's going to tell you about that. I'm also going to leave links below to her store, her website. I believe those are discount codes for me to you. If you need anything like that, I use the pain remedy stuff. Helps me with my shoulders. It's great stuff. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the good side. Peace.
Hi, I'm Scarlet Raven, and I am the head alchemist and founder of White Fox Medicinals, which is an all-organic, earth-based plant medicine remedy company where I make effect-based tinctures and topicals to help you feel healed, whole, and totally loved. I have stuff like the Repair Remedy Salve that will take out inflammation and pain from your muscles and your body. Other things that actually boost your spiritual inner love, like the Wild Starseed Love Cream. When you put this on, you smell intense aromas of deep Aztec chocolate, which awakens this love inside of your heart. This is edible. You can use it as a body cream. I also have a whole line of tinctures. Some of them heal the nervous system. Some of them boost your body's ability to heal itself. So whatever you're seeking for whole physical balance, that's going to incorporate your body, your mind, your soul, and your spirit, then I have some beautiful healing offerings for you. So go check it out at whitefoxmedicinals.com, and I'm happy to get you all set up.
Well, welcome to the Suicide Monk, and I am your host, and my name is Britton. And today we have Sabrina Osso from Osso Safe. And you're out of the East Coast area, correct? Is that
Correct?
okay? You have quite the list of accomplishments, and from what I've read over, it looks like most of what you've done throughout your life is trying to advocate for children in some form or fashion, and safety in the home. Can you tell me a lot about that? This touches my heart, and we were just talking, and I think this is it is the most beautiful thing somebody can do, is advocate for our children and try to give them life and opportunity, and to get them away from these things that really hinder someone's ability to enjoy this planet and society and to function normally. Tell me a whole lot about what you're doing. I've seen you on the TED Talk. I watched your stuff, but I really want to know about you and your passion behind this.
Thank you so much, Britton. You're very, very deep. I could tell we've never met till now. We don't know each other, but uh, I mean, just the title of your podcast is deep. So I understand, and I know that you understand, obviously. Uh, I've been in and out of therapy for quite some time to be comfortable to say that I am a survivor of violence. My father beat my mother on a regular basis. My mother would beat me, so I know
Mm.
firsthand how traumatic that is. Uh, and as a child, it took me a long time because at first, Osso Safe was about, first of all, I went through a few names, a few company names before I got to Osso Safe, and it was thanks to a business advisor that asked me really important questions, and then it hit me. I'm like,
What a
wait a
beautiful
minute,
name.
my name, my last name, a
Yeah.
play on words, and then what is the most important thing in life? Like that you need to be in order to do everything else. Whether you want to be an engineer, a podcast host, a dancer, a doctor, a lawyer, an artist, a photographer, you need to be safe. And I thought long and hard about this with the business advisor at the time. Uh, where does safe come from? Like, what deems somebody safe? I mean, what is it? And I dug deep and I said to myself, it's respect.
Mm.
Respect is the single most important ingredient in a healthy household. And it makes it safe is respect. You could disagree, you can fight, you
Mm.
can, yes, there's yelling, you can be in conflict, but it should never, ever cross the line of abuse, not verbal, not
Yeah.
physical, not sexual.
Yeah.
And children, they see it all. When they see mom and dad fighting, dad is beating up mom, mom is beating up dad, or they're getting attacked, the children, verbal, physical, sexual abuse. It's war. It's war in your own home. So your life is stolen. So like my life was stolen. I heard a great by a sex abuse survivor. She said that victims of abuse, they spend their adulthood healing from their childhood. And
Oh, ain't
I
that the
feel that
truth?
way. Yeah, I feel that way.
Can I ask
And
you a quick question?
sure.
Um, you had said that what were you saying about the abuse? The
Uh, that
You were
with
a
the
victim?
childhood,
Yeah, with a
yeah,
child.
a survivor of
Survivor.
violence. Right.
Survivor of violence. Does I don't know how to I don't know remember where I was going to go with that. There's so much to this because I'm having flashbacks of my own. So
I
I'm
bet.
I'm running in and out of my story, trying not to stay there, trying not to go there actually. But so I understand. I'm so sorry I derailed you just right there. I
No,
apologize.
no, 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 no. That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's okay. You, yeah, like a survivor of violence, um, you survive it, but you spend so much
Oh,
time
that's what it
healing from
was.
it.
You said it
Hmm.
robbed you because this really touched me because I feel the same way. I was robbed of life, but most people would say that's victim. Oh, you're playing the victim. You're playing the victim. So how do you manage that? Because you don't want to be the victim, but there's a victim element to it that
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. It's kind of in line with the abuse excuse, or the you're a victim and you don't want to be a victim. Well, I think that's why people say a survivor, because then you're not a victim, you're anymore. You came out of it. There's some healing that happened and still a ways to go. So you become a victor instead of the victim. So you've overcome things. So that's the way we think of it at Osso
like,
Safe. So does that make sense? Like,
oh,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
about, and I don't like it when people say the abuse excuse. Like, yeah,
That sounds
let
terrible.
me, let me rephrase that. I know victims that are abusers themselves. So they were victims and they didn't learn anything. They did not stop the cycle. If anything, they continued it with a vengeance. So, and they'll say, well, I was abused. I was beat up. I was sexually assaulted. But that's not an excuse. And your job as a victim or as a former victim, you have one job, and that job is to not repeat the cycle, not with yourself, not with your partner, and certainly not with your children at all.
Yeah, see,
So,
I did though. Like, not my full gamut, but my rage affected them. Even though it wasn't taken out on them,
got it.
I they were exposed to an anger that wasn't theirs. And again, even though it wasn't yelling at them or I wasn't beating mom up or anything like that. It's just I'm in ugly this ugly language, and it does affect them. It does affect how they respond to life.
Right.
Now, I can sit here and give myself all these points for not being a pedophile or not being physically abusive, or go down the list of all the things that happened to me that I didn't transfer. But there is this one thing that cost me my whole family. And again, even though it was never directed towards them, they felt every bit of it. And it took me losing everything that I ever wanted to, well, it pushed me over the edge. It pushed me to a point where I said, I am trash. There is nothing I can do anymore. I have tried, but I've flipped that narrative a little bit, a lot. And now I know I'm capable of not transferring those things to anybody else. I have the ability to be in control of my narrative now instead of my story being in control of my narrative. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes. Britain is so great. I'm so sorry for your pain, all of your suffering. Too many of us have that common thread of, wow, you were a victim, so was I. You went through verbal, physical, sexual abuse, so did I. All of these, like, the common thread should be, I had a good childhood. I know what it's like to be free and to never feel fear in my own house. But unfortunately, and this is why I built Osso Safe the way I did, because the norm should be safety. The norm should
Mm-hmm.
be respect. The norm should be that that you live your best life, and that means No
Yeah.
abuse, no violence, no chaos, no dysfunction, no verbal, physical, sexual abuse of any kind ever.
Right.
And I'm not being idealistic. There are families out there that are doing it. So
That
if they
is
can do it,
very possible. Yes.
yeah, and they're proof, and I say
Yeah.
this in my videos, they're proof that it can be done. They're doing it. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying that everything is rosy and that they don't they don't have challenges, but I feel that the key ingredient is that they always have respect as a foundation. We don't cross that line. Like I said, we could disagree, we can argue, we can be in conflict, but I'm never going to put my hands on you. I'm never going to verbally disparage you. I'm not going to sexually assault you. I'm not going to lock you in your room. None of that. So, and that needs to be the standard. And we will
Yeah.
see to it at Osso Safe that, see, the key thing, I mean, there's a couple of key things, but, it, and I'm sure you know this, everything starts in the home.
Mhm.
Everything, everything starts in the home. So if you can make home safe, if you can make it your sanctuary, if you can make it your, when you put that key in your lock, you should feel like you're home and not hell. You
I
should
agree.
feel like I can exhale. Um, and not feel like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen tonight? Are the police going to come? Is my father going to rape me? Is my mother going to attack me? Is my stepdad going to beat me up? No, 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 no. And we will see to it at Osso Safe that every home, that respect becomes a required standard in all homes. And it's in real estate, in the real estate industry. And we can talk about this later on during the interview. I'm kind of jumping a little bit, but it's very organic talking to you. And you know, I know that you turned your pain into power, and I'm doing that as well with Osso Safe. Like, um, I think I may have heard it on Oprah years and years ago, or maybe I heard it somewhere, and I said, "Wow, I like that, turning pain into power." And
Right.
it's a process, a long process,
It is.
and it's difficult. And uh, you know, all of us have the right to be safe in our own home,
Yeah. I agree with you.
and
Even in
yeah.
my own shame, I totally like. There's nothing more I wanted in life than to have my family, and I cost myself.
Um, oh, Britain. Um, I don't think hearing you listen. Go ahead. Do you want to?
This is the other side of it, though. This is there's responsibility in this for me, and that's valuable for changing the course because it what almost pushed me to take my life made me realize that of my responsibility for my life. Um, there's underlying things with that, with because there's nothing more than this in this life that I love than my kids. Like, you can't change that. You can't move that away. There's nothing more that I wanted, and it's the one thing I destroyed the most. Like,
I sense though that, um, and I don't know your situation. Like I said, we just met,
yeah,
but I sense that they they will be in your life. That there's room for forgiveness and
Not if they're as
to
stubborn as I am.
well, um, I don't know how young they are. I don't know how old they are, but I think I get a feeling that in time, all the pieces that are broken will be healed. And
It's not that I think I deserved it, but I've come to terms with even if it doesn't heal, they they've done what they needed to do for them. And maybe that's the best thing for me as well. Time will tell. Time will tell. But
yes, yes,
but you're seeing it from the other side. I think that's because you see it from a side where men like me destroy families. And man, this is gonna be a hard one.
well, I could tell you, men, women, trust me, there are plenty of women that abuse. There are
Well,
plenty of them.
that's true.
And
That is true.
like that's why, there should be no abuse, no violence, no
Right.
chaos, no dysfunction. But we really focus on kids.
Yeah.
And in a way, I think that hasn't been done before.
Yeah.
So
How
I
are you
feel like
empowering them? You're empowering kids, basically, right?
we're giving them voice and choice.
Mm.
Uh, uh, I think in ways that haven't been done before. And the laws, the courts, the judges, the child protective service agencies, the whole gamut, it's horrendous. Horrendous,
Yeah.
Britain. Horrendous. I mean, it's just, I have personal and professional experience with this. I mean, it is just, I mean, they perpetuate, magnify, solidify the verbal, physical, sexual abuse of children. I'm talking about child protective services.
Yep.
And I back my statement with experience and judges, the horrible, horrible rulings of judges that
Oh, they're.
side that
Oh my
side with the
gosh.
abusive parents, the abusive step
Yep.
parents. It is criminal. It's
Yep.
criminal. And if you're fighting for a child, you're fighting them as well. The system, the
Yep.
so-called system. So with our products and services, Osso Safe, what I have built, and I've been doing so many podcasts, speaking engagements to let people know that we exist and that our products and services are out there. You won't need the courts. You won't need the courts. You don't need the courts. You don't need child protective services. Everything gets resolved right in residency. And children, we don't wait until they are 18 years of age for them to have agency over their lives. It's too late to wait until they are 18 years of age. They will resort to drugs, alcohol,
Yep.
gang related activity, getting involved with the wrong relationships, the wrong people. They will continue the cycle, or they will, like the title of your podcast, commit suicide. They will self-harm. They'll cut them. They will start cutting themselves. No. In an Osso Safe certified property, we plant the seed in children's psyche. Speak out. Speak out. Speak up. For example, if you have an aunt, an uncle, a grandparent, a close family friend that's willing to take you in, that makes you feel safe, not just anybody, that makes you feel safe, we're going to get you to that person, but you have to speak out. And we realize children will lie. They could lie, right? No, 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 no. I'm safe with mommy and daddy and stepmom and stepdad. We get it. But abusive people, abusive parents, abusive step parents can only keep their poker face on for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Sooner than later, their abusive true colors will come out. And in an Osso Safe certified property, we have 4 components that makes your property Osso Safe certified. It's the policy, the seminar, the app, and therapists assigned to the property. So we're saying and our goal is to get every property Osso Safe certified, whether you live in a townhouse, a co-op, a condo, a single-family home, a multifamily dwelling, a 2-family home, a villa, a mansion, a mobile home, a senior community, a dormitory. Our goal is to have every property Osso Safe certified. It's not going to matter. But we are focusing right now on the landlord-tenant portion of the industry. We're saying, look, Mr. and Miss Landlord, hire us, we'll get your property Osso Safe certified. They purchase the Osso Safe Home Sweet Home package. It consists of, like I said, those 4 components. The policy basically states, I, as a landlord, I promise to provide you a safe space for you to live. You, in turn, as my tenant, you promise to not act in any way, shape, or form abusively. Otherwise, you, the abuser only, gets immediately evicted from the premises. And we go into full knowledge knowing that that would be the consequences. So there's no surprise. The second component is a seminar. Everybody gets educated, Britain, adults and children alike, on facts, statistics, warning signs, definitions of abuse, the difference between abuse and discipline, what constitutes a good relationship, what are the warning signs of a bad relationship. So that way a person cannot say, oh, I didn't know that if I pull my partner's hair, that constitutes abuse. Now you know. And a big component of this, especially in the policy and seminar, is that our children's book is a staple in every property. And in the book, I review or I introduce this concept of respect, disrespect, abuse, non-abuse. And I say to the kids, to basically, any reader, and this is for adults and children, and I say, like to anchor them to the present moment. Know that for the moment, which means right now, you are safe. To even just introduce that concept. Don't think about the future. Don't think about the past. Just right now. Right now, kids. Right here, right now. And then I say, you know who makes you feel safe and free and respected and good. You kids know. Because children know who make them feel comfortable and grounded, So the book is like it's a tool, and it's part of the certification. So, and we read the book to the kids and say, if you're not safe at home, maybe you're not ready to say today. That's okay. Maybe you'll say it in a week, 2 weeks, a month, 6 months. And we introduce to them the Osso Safe Kids Cheer. I want to live where I am Osso Safe, and I am Osso Safe with. They get to fill in the blank. It could be an aunt, an uncle, a grandparent, a close family friend. If it's not mom, dad, stepmom, stepdad. Just to introduce these concepts to them that they don't have to stay with abuse. They don't have to live with abuse. We don't wait until they are 18 years of age. So we're giving them voice and choice to the kids to say, look, speak out. Don't go home. Stay at school. Call the police. Speak out on behalf of your own abuse.
Who do they reach out to?
I'm sorry?
So when you get the property or facility like Osso Safe, how would they reach out to let somebody know that they're not safe, or that they have an opportunity to get out of that situation? How do they?
Well, we go into the property and we do the education, the seminar. So, and
Mhm.
this is like a blanket education. So it's not like we single anybody out. Oh, you look
Right,
like an abuser. You look like, no, no,
right,
not at all.
right.
We just do a blanket education. Whether you're going through abuse or not, it doesn't matter. You could be single, living by yourself. So we're giving you an education that these are the warning signs to look out for. And when you are in a partner relationship, what to look out for. And with the kids, also, it's like a blanket education. We are telling them, educating them of all ages, you have voice and choice in an Osso Safe certified property. So, um, so just to finish my thought, the third component is an app. I hired a software company to design an app that will detect violent like movements and captures them in real time, issuing alerts to the landlord. So it eliminates the he said, she said factor. So let's say you have 10 units. Whoa, I just saw you beat the crap out of her in my unit 2, and you just beat the crap out of him in my unit 10. Well, this is grounds for eviction. You knew that this was going to happen. You are held to a higher regard, a higher standard in an Osso Safe certified property. You have to go. And I have to protect the rest of my tenants in this building. So that's the app. And it's being modified right now. So it's being updated
Hmm.
to make it even more efficient. The fourth and final component of the certification is therapists assigned to the property. You are required to check in with your therapist once a month. It could be a text, it could be a phone call, it could be an email. Is everything okay? Do you feel like anything is looming? Tenants? Well, Mr. or Miss Therapist, actually, our kid came home with bad grades. We really don't know how to handle this. We're not going to beat him up. We're not going to verbally disparage him. We know better. We're held to a higher regard, a higher standard in an Osso Safe certified property. But help us through this because we really don't know how to handle this. So, Britain, all of these components working together makes for an Osso Safe certified property. This is preventative versus waiting for an episode of violence to occur. Bad news travels fast. And then before you know it, all of your respectful tenants leave, and then you're stuck with the abusive family. We
Mhm.
flip that script. Our logo gets placed outside of the property, so that way any vehicle or pedestrian traffic looking for a place to live, whoa, I know what that logo means. I'd rather raise my kids in an Osso Safe certified property versus one that isn't. Because if and when violence occurs, they have the mechanisms and systems in place to mitigate it, to mediate it, to resolve it. So we
Gotcha.
feel, I'm sorry?
I said I gotcha. Yeah.
So we feel at Osso Safe that all these certifications will change the face of residency. We are spearheading this to make respect a required standard. Um, and this will is in documents. It's all copywritten. The education is there, and then the landlords just pay $125 per unit, regardless of how many people are in the unit. You could be a single person, you could be a family of 5, 6 people. It's the same $125 per unit. That's it. And and the kids are better off for it. I feel like they feel empowered, like they have a say on, oh my gosh, yeah, Ma, I'm surrounded by abuse. Wow, but I have an aunt, an uncle, a grandparent, a close family friend that's willing to take me in. Yeah, I'm gonna speak out. That's it. I've had enough. I'm not, I'm not hearing my parents fight anymore. I'm not gonna have my dad pull my pants down anymore. I'm not going to have my mother show me pornography anymore.
Yeah.
So this becomes a lifestyle, respect. And it's a practice, Britain. This needs to be a practice, like
Yeah.
respect needs to be a practice. So many of us, we don't know what that is, especially if we come from violence.
Right.
If we come from violence, it's not taught to us. We learned the hard way, and you and I both, we've paid the price. In different ways, I'm sure, but
Yeah.
believe me, I understand about losing and paying consequences, and then you're all you know, at least I, you know, coulda woulda shoulda, right? The coulda woulda shoulda. um and I thought long and hard about how I wanted Osso Safe to look like, what I wanted it to be. And I know that if I had my own products and services back when I was growing up, my father and mother, for that matter, would not have gotten away with half the things they got away with.
Hmm.
And my reality would have been completely different, positive, much better. I would have at least, I think the damage would have been a lot less, and I would have gotten the help that I needed, and my reality would have been so much different, you know. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I talk a lot.
No, no, you're fine. I want to hear. Please, trust me. This is really good for me. This
Oh,
is
good, good.
yeah.
And I want to say that, well, two things. We are positive at Osso Safe. We're not like doom and gloom. You know, I didn't build the business to, well, you're a victim, or well, let's throw our hands up in the air. These are the problems. No, I'm offering bona fide solutions, you know,
Right. Right.
and and these solutions are doable, they're feasible, they're possible. It's just a matter of changing people's psyche
It is.
around their home life. And
Mhm.
also, you know, I work very hard to explain and to reiterate, we're not a charity, we're not a nonprofit. I make that very clear, because I have to say, we respect all of the charities and nonprofit that deal with domestic violence. We don't even like to call it domestic violence. We prefer to say home violence. But
Mm.
so long as we treat this as a charity, it's never going to get resolved. Never, 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 never. But if you have a paid service where people have to pay to get their property filled with
Yeah.
residents, and they have to be respectful and also safe certified, well, that changes the game completely. And then home violence will dissipate, it'll decrease. And eventually, and with work, with repetition, gaining momentum, also safe gaining momentum, and having insurance companies and mortgage companies jumping on board like, oh, wow, this is great. You know, you're really doing such a great thing for for homes all around. We want a piece of the action. Now you're talking. Home violence will be a thing of the past. And I believe that it's the repetition of the certification, making it stronger, giving it momentum, and being like, and we're saying no exception. You know, you put your hand on somebody, that's it, you're out. You pull someone's hair, you beat the crap out of your kid, you're out. You're out.
Yeah.
The rest of the family can stay, provided that they could still pay the rent or the mortgage. And we find, Britain, that when you remove the terror, the
It's not a bad.
terrorist,
Yeah. Yeah.
if you will, then the rest of the family can function, can at least be on the way to healing and say, I can exhale. Wow. Um, I'm free,
Yeah.
or
And
I'm on the way to freedom.
that's what I was explaining earlier. Maybe that separation is good for my kids. Do you understand? It's because I am that entity that resides within them and their anger that I've adopted them with. So, it's there's value in the healing, but they have to also be on their own healing journey of that, because it's when we take on these things, we become the victim of them, and we don't often get to witness the abuser healing. It's very, very rare, from my experience. So,
It is rare. And can I ask you, are they over 21?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They're all
Oh,
24 plus.
oh,
Yeah, I've got three
oh,
grandkids. I'm an old man.
oh, no. Oh, you have three grandchildren.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I lost everything. I lost everything.
I know how painful it is. I understand, and I'm so sorry.
But you shouldn't be, because you're absolutely right. This shouldn't happen in the home. It shouldn't.
Yeah, I
I have no excuse. There's no excuse for it.
well, with our certification, we don't leave the abuser hanging either. We, provided that he or she wants the help, we provide them with the help, and it's in their best interest
Yeah.
to get help, and we make therapy part of your home life. It's a lifestyle. We say at Osso Safe, there's shame in not getting help versus getting help. You don't have to be ashamed for getting help.
Right.
And when I started therapy, I had a lot of shame, a lot of noise, the whole thing, the whole, what if somebody sees me? This is not going to help me. This is nonsense. um, this is not going to do anything. But I'm not the one who needs help. My parents are the one who needs help. I can't afford it. All the noise. So we advise people, and I want to advise your listeners that not all therapists are created equal. So you may have to try on a
Yeah.
few for size, uh, to have the right fit, and let that be okay. Let it be okay. Um, that that it took you 3, 4 therapists to get to the one that a good test of your therapist, like that you have a good therapist, is if you leave your therapy session feeling a little less heavier. Bingo. That's your therapist. That's the way it was for me. Um, I felt a little less heavy. So, um, yeah. So you know, um, it's so painful to live with abuse, with violence, chaos, dysfunction. It's so painful, and there's no need. Life is difficult as it is, all
Yes.
by itself, all by
Yeah.
itself. I'm a dancer, and I mean the auditioning, the rejection, the the nonsense audition rules, and like,
Yeah. That's a tough industry. And then you come from a home where it really beats on your confidence and psyche.
right, right,
Wow.
yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I couldn't even mention dance in my house. I couldn't even think about it. It was and understood, when you live in that type of environment, the secrets, what to say, what not to say. You're conditioned, you're programmed. So, and dance was, I couldn't even think about my life, me, Sabrina, until I was 21 when I moved out. So everything up until that point, I was their slave. And children are abused. Children are the slaves of the abusive parents, the slave owners. That's the way
you are not wrong about that.
I know it's, abusive parents will say to me, how dare you? I'm a good parent. If they only knew the pain that they inflict on their children, and children are so precious, they're not given any credit whatsoever. I don't want to say the parents that have it right, they do. And they see their children, they adore them,
They do.
They're doing all the great things, and it's not easy. It's very challenging. You want to lock yourself in a room and just punch a pillow. I get it. But like I said, that respect is there at all times, and they practice it,
I have friends that do that. They're beautiful to watch. I always ask them, I have friends that are like that. They're a very beautiful family. And I always ask them, I'm like, would you rather live in the chaos or the loneliness? And I'm like, I would rather live in the chaos. I'd rather have the kids, just the nuttiness, the uncertainty, the am I doing it right? But yeah, you're loving them really well. It's just hard.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and I like to say it's good chaos,
It is.
because there's the parents that are abusive, they inflict such chaos on their children. But when I know what you're talking about, like it's good chaos, like
Great.
everything is a mess and everything is disorganized, but it's just
there's a beautiful flow.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. We said it at the same time. Yeah. Oh, Britton.
Is there? We're getting close to your done time. So is there anything you want to leave us with? I know it goes.
Wow, that went by so fast. I want to say to you that you're very courageous and very you are healing to have this podcast and the style that you run it, and just the title alone. I mean, I was suicidal bad from 16 to 19. Very bad. And it's just very painful. And so I commend you. I have tremendous respect for you that you're doing this. You're helping so many people. And I know, I'm going to start crying. I know that you're helping your kids and your grandkids by having this podcast. I know that. But yes, ossosafe.com is the website. We are on all the major social media platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram.
Nice.
The two platforms that are dedicated just for kids of all ages, from teeny tiny through high school, is the YouTube. And they could find it on Sabrina Osso or Osso Safe Kids. And all kids are Osso Safe Kids, whether they're safe at home or not safe at home. And TikTok. We're on TikTok. We go over warning signs if they're dating anybody, what to look out for. Commend yourselves if you're in a good relationship. It's not your fault. You're not alone. If dad and mom are fighting, if things are not okay at home, we're working as fast as we can. So we keep it positive, and our children's book is on Amazon and other book selling
Great.
sites, which makes me so happy to see that. And I want to say we all have the right to be safe in our own home. Just because you are a parent, it doesn't give you the right to abuse your child, and that we will see to it at Also Safe that respect becomes a required standard, and that it's a
Yeah.
practice, and that needs to be the norm. So I want to say that. And to kids that are listening on your podcast, speak out. We know it's scary. If you have somebody that's willing to take you in, speak out. Don't go home. Call the police, or from home, call the police, and make the police take you where you are safe. And if you have nobody, be patient. We're working as fast as we can.
Yeah. I love what you're doing. I love that you're advocating for children in this regard because it's so desperately needed for people to stand up for. Uh, Nobody else is going to do it. So thank you so much for all of what you're doing and your direction and your passion. Unfortunately, it came out of hardship and torment and turmoil and abuse. But thank you so much for turning your passion or your pain into this passion and this beautiful thing for the future of our future of humanity.
Thank you, Britton. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving us voice on your by allowing us to be on your wonderful, healing, enlightening, inspiring podcast.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Well, thanks for being on the Suicide Monk, and we'll see you on the good side. Well, thank you for joining us today in this conversation. And next, we're going to have a word from Scarlet Raven from White Fox Medicinals. Thanks. And we'll see you on the good side.
Hi, I'm Scarlet Raven, and I am the head alchemist and founder of White Fox Medicinals, which is an all-organic, earth-based plant medicine remedy company where I make effect-based tinctures and topicals to help you feel healed, whole, and totally loved. I have stuff like the Repair Remedy Salve that will take out inflammation and pain from your muscles and your body. Other things that actually boost your spiritual inner love, like the Wild Starseed Love Cream. When you put this on, you smell intense aromas of deep Aztec chocolate, which awakens this love inside of your heart. This is edible. You can use it as a body cream. I also have a whole line of tinctures. Some of them heal the nervous system. Some of them boost your body's ability to heal itself. So whatever you're seeking for whole physical balance, that's going to incorporate your body, your mind, your soul, and your spirit, then I have some beautiful healing offerings for you. So go check it out at whitefoxmedicinals.com, and I'm happy to get you all set up.